I got our research girl Layla to pull the information for 20 postcodes in Sydney for me. No one else has this. We created this information using RP data, CoreLogic. Just for your information, CoreLogic is the head office based in the US that owns RP data and the Balex system. Balex is the biggest valuation system that the banks use here in Australia. So you've got valuers you've got valuers inputting data, and you've got sales data going into RP data and CoreLogic, which then proves that these figures are correct. Let's have a look at which suburb. Let's pick Campbelltown, about 2/3 of the way down. So in September there were 13 properties on the market. Went on the market, sorry. That's went on the market. There were 48 sales in September last year. Look across to the right-hand corner, right-hand side of the page. So up until the 18th of February, there were 144 properties placed on the market in Campbelltown, and there were 14 sales. That's the same scenario in every one of those 20 postcodes that were picked at random for areas where our clients have been buying over the last couple of years. Any questions on that? It shows you that in September we were still in a seller's market. We were still there in October, November, December, but it was changing. And in February this year, it hit home. We're now in a buyer's market in Sydney. Now the wave started in the eastern suburbs and northern beaches. The wave of the boom 2.5 years ago started in those more salubrious, more sought after, more upmarket areas. And then it flowed out to the western suburbs, to the Penrith and the Campbelltown and the Gosfords. It's already waning in those areas, as you saw from the one here in Castle Hill. Castle Hill last July, August, September was insane. It's not now. It's coming back to earth with a thud. Now the western suburbs, St Mary's and Penrith and those areas, it's coming back with a thud too. It's already there. That'll take another 12 months to get back to the city and the beaches, because it takes about 12 to 18 months to get out there and about 12 to 18 months to flow back. Unless something happens, it'll flow quicker. Any questions on this data or graph? Table. What do you call it? Table.
The table, yeah. No questions just yet.
It's a horror table, but it's fact.
I've got a question from John. He's asking, where have the buyers gone?
The buyers were always the same buyers, and if you think about what happened, so we've got government interference. We had, if I go back to 2004, the government interfered in a free market by creating first-time owners grant and waiver of stamp duty. So what they did then, there's two types of tenants in my world. So there's good tenants and bad tenants. Or, sorry, not bad. Good tenants and the rest. The good tenants are easily identified by the fact that they can pay the rent on time, hopefully. They can certainly pay the rent. They can look after the property, and they can save money. Others have various struggles in their life and can't fulfill all or some of those. But the good tenants were seduced into buying their own property because the government gave them the money to pretty much get the leg up. So about 540,000 people fell into that box and became first home buyers. So if you take them out of the pool of good tenants, you are left with everybody else. And they don't automatically step up and become good tenants because their income doesn't change, their lifestyle doesn't change, and they don't necessarily have the ability to do that. So we had a massive drain of good tenants, which meant rents went down and vacancies went up in the rental market. We've seen the same thing over the last 2 years, where a lot of people who were good tenants, if they're paying $200 a week rent for a little two-bedroom place in a regional town or in one of the outer suburbs of Sydney, Gosford or anywhere like that, they could afford to go and buy that for a lot less outlay. So if they have the deposit saved, they could go and put that down and then pay off their own loan. That's what so many people have done. So a lot of good tenants have gone that way. We're now left with the rest, and we have to work it out. We're seeing that right around Australia. We're seeing it in the western suburbs of Sydney. What we were buying in St Mary's 2 years ago for around the $200,000 mark is now offers over $350,000, same units. The problem is, 2 years ago we were getting $290, $300 a week rent for the same property. Now they're getting $280. Lucky to get $290. So rents haven't gone up, they've gone backwards pretty much across the board. And the prices went up, and they will come back. So does that answer that question? Is that a yes?
Yes.
I'll take it. All right, any other questions about those numbers? They are not made up, they're pure fact. There is Kellyville, good one there. 16 went on the market with 73 sales. 189 went on the market in the first couple of weeks of February with 20 sales. So it's the amount of sales that signify what's going on, and it's the amount of extra stock that's on the market. And Sydney had a major issue, always, that created its boom. And the major issue was there was not enough stock for sale. We're not talking about enough properties in Sydney at all. We're talking about number of properties that were on the market that you could actually buy compared to the demand. So people who then wanted to buy competed against each other over the few properties that were available. Now, they don't have to compete against each other. There is more than sufficient stock to keep it going for a long, long time. Even the bottom one, Beercroft. One property went on the market, 17 sales. In February, we got 24 properties placed on the market, 3 sales.